It's the Chris and Des Show. I'm Chris.
And I'm Des.
And today we are going to kind of catch up on our recommendations for each other. Last week we did
On our
something.
assignment.
Yeah, our
we were
assignments.
assigned. We
Yes.
gave each other assignments.
And we did this new thing where it was like, hey, I recommend this show that you haven't watched, and you recommend this show that I haven't watched, and let's watch them.
Yeah.
And we did. So we're going to do Dez's recommendations today. And Des recommended Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix, Star Trek Picard on CBS All Access, Star Wars Rebels, which you can watch on Disney Plus, and Knight's Tale, which I watched on Showtime, I think, through my Hulu app. I think that's how I got it. When I would
and that's one that I found free on IMDb, which I didn't even know that was you could do that.
I know. I looked at it through IMDb on my app, but it didn't come up as free. It came up like $3 or something like that.
I don't know. Maybe it was a quirk of the system or something. I don't know.
We'll take it.
Exactly.
I did, if you have an Apple TV, if you don't have Apple TV, you should get it because it's just so good. But I just did talked into my remote and said, Knight's Tale. And it said, how would you like to watch it?
That is a nice feature. You have to admit. I can't argue with you about that.
I'm like, oh, yes. Free here? I will go that way.
Exactly.
So, Somebody Feeds Phil. Who should start?
Somebody feed Phil. The theme song is partly why I like it so much.
It's super cute. No, I guess I'll start because you recommend them, and then
you should go first on all of these.
So I've always liked Phil Rosenthal. He just seems like he's just a regular, and he actually seems really nice, which is interesting because he's famous partly for Everybody Loves Raymond, which him and Ray Romano created, and I never liked Ray Romano because he doesn't seem nice to me for some reason. But
I'm not sure he is nice. I don't know that he is nice.
I know.
But I think Phil is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you go.
And it was cool just to see that it isn't even just about the food. Part of it is about the food, but he's also looking at the places that he's at, the countries he's in, and the people and the traditions and the economy and all that kind of stuff. And so it's fun. It's just a really interesting, I would say it's kind of it's kind of like a lot of those eating shows on Netflix also, where Anthony Bourdain, the one he does where he goes and
eats. Yeah.
And it's a little mixture too of kind of as a feel of comedians in cars with coffee kind of thing, but they're not.
Right. That's
comedians,
a good correlation for sure.
Same kind of thing. But I really enjoyed it. Something just fun to put on and watch. This is cute. Let's watch him.
I think it's 100% about his personality. Mm-hmm. And what I really love is when he's there's an episode where you can tell he just wants to talk to people. He has this television show behind him that's footing the bill for all of this, which must be nice, I must say, on the side to pay for all this travel. But he sits down with this whole table of people and is like, can I come and just chat with you for a minute? They don't show that part, but that's what happened. Right. That he was like, I'll buy a round for everybody if I can just come and sit down with you guys for a second and have a chat. And then they just talk for a minute, and it's so nice. I think that's fun. It's a fun way to travel when you have that mindset of, well, I'm going to try all the things and just bring me a bunch of stuff. And, and that's just fun.
He was kind of nostalgic in a way. It was kind of sad, Des, because I'm watching him oh, remember when you could travel? That was so fun to travel, and now we can't.
Remember traveling? When I watched it, we weren't as deep in the COVID as we are now.
And now I'm oh, that was nice. When you could get
on a plane. But it was depressing.
No, it was so good.
There's a little snippet in every show of him Skyping with his parents. And they're so cute. That's part of it too, is I have an affinity for the older generation, absolutely. Yes. And they're just so adorable. And so every time he calls back from wherever he is to chat with his parents, and they're just so adorable.
Yes, I agree. So I'd also recommend Somebody Feed Phil, especially if you're looking for something to just relax.
Yeah.
Tense.
No big drama. Just good food and another part of the world.
Yes, agreed. Then the next show was Star Trek Picard on CBS All Access. I actually, I am not, like, if you were to ask me a question about Star Trek, I'd be like, I don't know, actually, the answer to it. I know a little more about Star Wars. I've watched all those movies, and Disney has Disneyfied them, right? But Star Trek, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I knew who Picard was, kind of, just because it's Professor X, and so I got that thing. But I actually really enjoyed the show for two reasons. One reason is I think CBS All Access, their shows they do on their own, like the Good Fight and this show, are really high quality. They put a lot of money into these shows.
Yeah, you could tell.
A lot of money. So they look great. They look really great. But also, I think Patrick Stewart is just a really, he's just a likable guy. You just like him.
So likable.
And it's all relationship based.
Yes.
And it's not, actually, they're not even in space. The first episode that's what I watched that much, because they're at his little Italy house or whatever.
France. He's in France. Picard.
France. Oh, France. That's in France? Oh, it looks just like, it looks like Italy to me. But
because the vineyard.
Yeah, because it's vineyard. And so he is this relationship with him and with Data and with, it's like the feelings part, which I can always get on board. I can get on board with that for sure, always, for sure. And yeah, so yeah, I liked it. I actually thought, I might watch some more episodes of this. I enjoyed it.
Yay! Oh, I'm so glad.
I know.
Yeah, I only saw the one episode. I haven't watched any more than that, but I want to. So I have no more insight to give to the story or anything, except that it is. I kind of from the Good Fight. I got the feeling that CBS All Access shows are going a little more edgy, when it comes to topics and things like that. And I feel like this might be in that similar vein where they're going to take on some topics that could be pretty controversial. Yeah. So I don't know that they do. I haven't done any research about it, and I have only watched one episode. But it's just a kind of inkling that I'm getting from the whole vibe of it. Yeah. That it could go somewhere a little more deep.
Gotcha.
And I hope it does.
Yeah. It makes sense. And yeah, we can talk about the Good Fight on its own episode, because that is a show we should talk about.
That's something totally separate.
Okay, and then I watched Star Wars Rebels, which is a animated show on, I think it was on the Disney Channel, right? At some point, I think
it was on Disney XD or something.
XD, yeah, one of the Disney channels. There's so many now. And yeah, it also, I watched with my son. He likes it a lot too. We both liked it a lot. It is, what was I going to say? No, it's just gone. Don't you hate when that happens? It's really, I think if you like Star Wars, which I do like Star Wars, if you like Star Wars, it really is kind of I feel like almost another retelling of a similar story of Skywalker, kind of we're these rebels now, and we're out here, just us, fighting against the bad guys. And we watched, I think, 3 or 4 episodes, actually, because we were like, we got to keep watching.
Way to go, Cash! Way to go!
So Cash really liked it, so we kept watching. But it was funny because we're also watching The Mandalorian at the same time, so we're getting a lot of Star Wars in our minds. But yeah, it's just good, enjoyable. Disney, of course, spends lots of money on their
well-written
cartoons.
Part of the storyline. It's just a good story.
Yeah. And it's interesting to make it little kiddish, so there's nothing bad in it.
No.
It's all just, make it animated so kids can watch it as well too. I like that. I liked it. I enjoyed that also.
Well, good. Excellent.
What's the other animated one that everyone says to watch? Not Rebels, but Star Wars.
Clone Wars?
Clone Wars, yeah.
Yeah, Clone Wars. Yeah, for sure. Same thing. It's the same level of quality. It's the same thing. It's a little more, it feels a little more in canon because it's Anakin Skywalker and it's it's Ahsoka Tano and it's more main level characters.
I gotcha.
In Clone Wars.
Gotcha. And then the last thing was, it was Knight's Tale, starring the late Heath Ledger, right?
Yeah.
And I have seen Knight's Tale, at least parts of it, a long time ago. And like I said before, I think in the other video, the weird thing is everyone loved it. I mean, everybody was like, oh, Heath Ledger, oh, Knight's Tale, oh, whatever. And I remember just being like, this is okay, I guess. I don't know what everybody's like raving about. And so I watched it while I was on my elliptical machine.
Oh, good job.
And I liked it so much more this time. I don't know if I can just appreciate it more or just
Yay!
The humor got me at the right point. The music, that's like pop music in this ancient time, right? Or not ancient time, but this like time of the past.
Right.
And Heath Ledger, of course, is like super likable, as always. He's always super likable. But even like Alan Tudyk and his friends as well too are also. What's the guy's name who plays?
I was gonna say that's my favorite guy.
Vision.
Yeah. I don't know.
Paul Bellamy.
Oh, Paul Bellamy.
Bellamy? I think it's Bellamy. It's something like that. I can't remember now. But they were all.
He's my favorite. He is my favorite in that movie.
They're just good.
When he gets up in front of everybody and just spews forward and makes up all his stuff, you know, he's just making it up on the fly, and he introduces him to the crowd. It's so great.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I enjoyed it too, and I'm glad you recommended it because if you would have asked me before, like, what did you think of Knight's Tale? I'm like, oh, it's okay, it's fine. But yeah, no, I liked it a lot more. And Morgan loved it. My wife loves it. So she was like,
no, that's the Morgan movie.
So you gotta watch Knight's Tale. What are you talking about? You don't like Knight's Tale? I'm like, I didn't say I didn't like it.
Well, I'm glad you gave it a chance, Christopher.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, I thought they were all great. If you haven't seen Knight's Tale, probably you have, but if you haven't, you should watch that. I would say watch Somebody Feeds Phil. You would just put something on to relax, no drama. And then
that's a good background thing too.
Right.
Like put on when you're doing the laundry or doing something else. That could be, or while you're cooking dinner, you put that on in the back and just for noise. That's what I do sometimes. But it's perfect for that.
Definitely. And Star Trek Picard is not just for people, I don't think, who love Star Trek, because I'm not a Star Trek person.
Right.
It is a good character and just a well done show. And Star Wars Rebels is a family show where you can watch with kids of almost any age. I mean, there's fighting like there's in all Star Wars, but it's not even bad. It's just blasting lasers at people. So yeah, I recommend them all too. Way to go, Jess. Way to go.
Yay!
Okay, let us know.
The summer of assignment.
That's right. Let us know what you think about any of those shows. And also recommendations. That'd be really cool too. Recommend things to us.
You guys give us things to do. We've got nothing but time and nowhere to go. Nobody's paying us to go travel around the world. So give us something that you think you'd like us to watch.
Or if you'd like to pay for us to travel around the world, just leave it in the comments below. We're happy to oblige. We're happy to oblige.
Open, for sure.
We'll go eat free food anytime you'd like us to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, that's the next level. We should start going to restaurants and reviewing restaurants in the area. Who knows what we'll start reviewing?
I'll be like, Joan, would you like to
yes.
Sponsor us? Okay. So let us know what you think. Recommend some stuff. If you want to pay for our food, let us know. Okay. Bye.
Bye.